Welcome to the channel. This is Tinkering Every Day, and today we're going to look at a custom Nintendo cartridge I built that emulates multiple consoles. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, let's take a look at this Nintendo cartridge. Upon closer inspection, you pull the cartridge out and you notice that it has a few ports that a regular Nintendo cartridge does not have. If you grew up in this era, or if you've ever messed with a Nintendo game, you notice that it just has a card that's inside of the cartridge there, and mine's a little different. See, what I did with this one is I took a Raspberry Pi Zero, which is a single board computer, a very small one, that is used for emulating retro video games. This is what one looks like. It's in a case, a little see-through case with some attachments on it. This is what it looks like just by itself. It's this little computer board right here. It's got an SD card that acts as the hard drive on this type of unit. Now, it has a USB multi-port for adding controllers or keyboards or peripherals attachments, what you need to do with that. But anyway, that's the computer that powers this little build that I made. Now I could run just this unit itself and play games with it, hook it up to a TV through the HDMI port and have no problems. But I wanted a little project, and this thing's a heck of a lot more of a conversation piece than that is. This almost looks like a detonator for an explosive device, especially when you put the antenna in it. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and I'll crack it open and we'll see what we got here. How I built this guy. It starts with you can find a Nintendo cartridge that you have a copy of, or just go to a Goodwill and pick one up for a couple bucks. A game that preferably is not working, that way you're not destroying a game. I have a copy of this one, so I used the case that was a little bit better shape for presentation. And again, top tip, if you put your screwdriver here on the magnet, it'll help us pick up these screws a heck of a lot better. There we go. This one here. Okay, take the back off. Alright. This is what we have on the inside of this Nintendo cartridge. So basically all I had to do is take the card out of it. On the inside of an actual authentic Nintendo cart, if you open one up, all you will find is this tiny little circuit board with some chips on it. And a resistor, and there's a lockout chip. But yeah, this whole big old plastic piece just for this little circuit board. So that fits in there like that. And then this feeds into your console, of course. But all you have to do is unscrew this from the plastic. There's a couple of tabs that kind of hold it in place. You kind of take a needle nose pliers and break those off. This is your single board computer here, the Raspberry Pi Zero W. The W is, there's the Raspberry Pi Zero, and then there's a Zero W. The W has the onboard Wi-Fi, which is really good to have, because otherwise, if you want to upload anything to this device, you have to pull this card out and plug it in a computer, put any of the data, games, whatever you want on it, and then plug it back into this. It's a big pain, especially if you keep finding games that you'd like to put on it and you keep having to take it apart and plug that back in. You would be better served getting the Raspberry Pi Zero W. It's like $5–10 more, but it's got built-in Wi-Fi, so you can just hook up to your computer and click and drag any data you want via a network. But anyway, this A lot of these parts you can get off Amazon, eBay. They're relatively inexpensive. This piece here, turn around, is actually this multi-tab. All I did was take this black case off of it, fit it in like so, glue it down. So relatively all you need to really build this is the cartridge, an empty cartridge, this little computer itself, this multi-tap, which you can find on Amazon. You'll need some kind of HDMI adapter. What comes with this one is just a mini HDMI port, so you're going to have to adapt it up to regular HDMI. Now if you want to put it in this kind of application, you're going to have to find an adapter with a cord, with an extension. Same with this, to power it, you're going to need a USB type, it's micro USB to regular USB. So you can plug it into most USB devices that provide power. I found this piece here at Walmart. You can get it in the electronics section. It's just a micro USB extension. Sorry, micro HDMI extension. That way you can run all your ports, all your attachments, hookups, right to the end of the cart. So it all fits in there just nicely like that. And it just barely fits. Especially with the extra slack on these cables. I had to kind of get creative and pinch them, bend them around, fit around all these different little tabs and pieces. It all fits in there quite nicely. As you can see, it's a neat little project. It's not that expensive to build. The Raspberry Pi Zero W itself is, I think, like $20 to $30. Then about $20 to $30 worth of extension pieces and a multi-tap. And you can build yourself a neat little retro console. Now with the Raspberry Pi Zero W, it has limited capability compared to its big brother, the Raspberry Pi 3 or 4. Now the processing power and graphic power, the GPU or whatnot, it can only support from Atari all the way up to, I don't think it won't do Game Boy Advance. It'll do up to 16-bit. So Super Nintendo, Genesis, all the way down to Atari and more basic games like that. But still, if you're just looking to emulate Nintendo, because this is a Nintendo cart, you can. It'll be great for that because it'll run every Nintendo game flawlessly, with ease. It looks great, great frames, plays well, and then all you have to do is if you have a Microsoft Xbox or anything with a USB controller compatible, you can plug it right in here. And the software inside, you can configure any USB controller really easily. But yeah, and then we'll play any Genesis game, Nintendo, Atari, Super Nintendo. It's just it's a neat little project if you're looking for a little tech project, a retro game console to get into. It's quite a neat little piece, great for conversation. But that's my custom game console Nintendo cart. Based on the type of videos you've seen or anything you've seen in my game room tour, for ideas, check out my game room tour. If anything you would like me to tinker with, do an overview on, a review on, tell you more about it, the story behind it, how I built it, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, keep tinkering every day. Welcome to the channel. This is Tinkering Every Day, and today we're going to look at a custom Nintendo cartridge. Nintendo? Okay, we'll take a look at this little thing. Okay, now we'll take a look at this Nintendo cartridge. Alright. Hi, this is Tinkering Every Day, and that's too dramatic.